don't think it's a just because. I'm personally done with this state. It's a vibe of the city that I don't care for. I don't think it's really safe for the kids.
Aspyn Brown, a star of Sister Wives, recently caused a stir for having a large secret from her fans. It now seems that she and her husband, Mitchell Thompson, are having their first child. Aspyn, who is Kody and Christine Brown's daughter, usually keeps a low profile on social media. Due to this, fans usually get any news about her from her mother's or siblings' social media. Aspyn seldom posts personal updates on her own accounts. Christine, on the other hand, always takes time to celebrate and share the milestones in her children's lives. She loves opening up to her fans about the lovely things that are going on in the family. Being someone very close to her children, the reality star usually spends quality time with them and loves creating new memories. But Aspyn's recent public outing caused quite a buzz online. Is it possible that she specifically withheld this information from her followers? Did she actually conceal the grand reveal? Some even suspect that Aspyn Brown might be expecting what's termed a spirit baby. On her YouTube channel, Sister Wives cast member Kody Brown frequently provides information about their family and Mormon faith. In one of her videos, she discussed the idea of spirit babies in Mormonism. Their mother, Gwen explained, had a miscarriage before Truly Brown was born, and the family believes that the spirit of that unborn child may return through one of the siblings. Gwen herself stated explicitly that she had an intuition Aspyn could be the one who was carrying the spirit of that miscarried child. But Aspyn herself hasn't made any remarks regarding this assumption publicly. When this notion was revealed, quite a few fans were taken aback and started speculating whether it was actually possible. Aspyn Brown's pregnancy announcement surely came as a shock to her fans, particularly because she's been so secretive for so long. Her romance with Mitchell Thompson has stayed largely under the radar. Until now. The two had avoided discussing children for a long time. Aspyn and Mitchell got married back in 2018, but they kept their intentions regarding starting a family totally secret. Instead, the Sister Wives stars were busy with new career endeavors and living life to the fullest. So, when fans recently saw Aspyn sporting a rather large baby bump, they were totally shocked. She presented herself for a rare public outing at a business function hosted at City Creek Center. Interestingly, Aspyn, who is the shop manager there, provided a reporter with a complete tour of the Mother's Day line. But what actually got everyone talking was her very apparent pregnant belly. In the interview, reality star Jess confirmed she was indeed pregnant with her first child. Aspyn appeared stunning in a blue patterned dress and bangs in her hair. A grab from the interview soon appeared on Reddit, and the user posted it in a discussion forum. Fans were excited about the surprise pregnancy announcement, but some also questioned why the family had hidden it for so long. Considering how far along she seemed in the video, it seems that Aspyn is on schedule very soon. She appears to be in her second trimester, said one of the commenters. After the interview was broadcast to the public, it became apparent that the secret had gotten out. Another user guessed why TLC had not broken the news themselves, while others simply were happy that Aspyn and Mitchell were starting off their journey to parenthood. Some fans even admired the couple for choosing to keep things to themselves until they were ready to share. Sister Wives' Kody Brown has long lived a life of luxury. He's frequently riding around in fancy cars, including a white Mercedes-Benz C-Class convertible, which costs about $57,000, according to reports. And yet, Kody has continually complained about living in poverty. He's even gone so far as to claim he's broke and can't afford to pay child support to Janelle. Meanwhile, however, he spends big bucks on fancy jewelry for Robin, his fourth wife. Fans are left wondering, does Kody really have money issues, or is he just playing it up? Some of the followers even allege that they saw Kody and Robin at Las Vegas casinos. further sparking the controversy of whether he's truly struggling or living large in secret. He was always spotted splurging huge amounts of money at casinos, and they became their regular haunt. According to reports, Kody just made a fat sum of $1.5 million selling the Coyote Pass property. By splitting the land into 4 parcels, he took away a fat profit, pocketing approximately $750,000 for himself. But then comes the question: was the land sold out of necessity or as a strategic move? Did Robyn have anything to do with Kody's financial decisions? When Robyn fit well into life with Kody without being involved in the family's business endeavors. Before marrying, Robyn had openly confessed that she was in serious financial trouble. Her divorce had set her practically penniless. Robyn now lives a financially comfortable life with Kody, despite his contention that she had previously been a model. Since becoming newsworthy in 2010, Sister Wives Kody Brown has had widespread fame and a hefty salary from the show, yet he complains about money issues on a regular basis. Following his breakup with Janelle, Kody confessed he couldn't pay child support. Strangely enough, however, he doesn't spare any expense when it comes to spending on Robyn and the kids. He's been known to splurge on extravagant gifts, such as a pricey Mercedes-Benz, and he once spent a small fortune on Christmas gifts for his children. A pendant in blue sapphire, just one of the standout pieces from their distinct jewelry collection. So, is Kody truly struggling financially? Or is he just putting on a show? Based on the available information, it seems Kody actually has sufficient funds. Sure, he sometimes overspends and lives a little beyond his budget, but it's also possible he has an emergency fund stashed away somewhere. It's reasonable to imply that Kody sometimes employs his so-called financial issues as an easy cop-out to avoid unpleasant responsibilities or choices. Meanwhile, in the sprawling limbs of the Brown clan, there are indications of change. And interestingly enough, it's coming from one of the most introverted and quiet members of the family. A new chapter seems to be opening up for a daughter who has usually preferred to live outside the spotlight. Her penchant for remaining quiet regarding personal achievements has only led to more rumor among fans, who now catch what appears to be a happy and intimate moment in her life. In this vast family tree is a young woman who has skillfully kept her personal world hidden. While her family members tend to share their ups and downs publicly, she has discovered strength in remaining quietly behind the scenes. But recently, something soft but intriguing appears to be on its way, shattering the peace she's long enjoyed. Recently, this usually demure daughter ventured out for a rare public sighting, and what observers saw sent shockwaves through online forums. She wasn't merely exuding confidence and loveliness in her elegant, flowing gown. It was something more. Her subtle movements, such as the gentle laying of her hands on her belly and the softness of her movement, suggested that maybe a new little life will soon be part of the family. Although she has kept entirely mum on her personal platforms, others around her have suggested the development more freely on social media. Her mother, who's famous for commemorating every milestone in every child's life, keeps on sharing pictures of significant moments. She's the kind of person who treasures every birthday, graduation, tear, and victory. Although nothing has been formally announced about this exact moment, her daughter's warm presence and soft smile might have spoken louder than words ever could. This was on a casual day trip to one of her favorite stores where she works as a manager. This inconsistency has made it puzzling for many fans to ask themselves, is Kody really broke, or is it a ruse? He's repeatedly expressed he's had to sell real estate such as Coyote Pass because they couldn't afford it. Yet he lived very comfortably even before the sales. In the meantime, Robyn has a reputation for being profligate in her spending, specifically on dolls. She has a room full of dolls and even had the ones made that resembled her, including her hairdo. To boot, Kody also has a rare and expensive David Human amulet, adding fuel to speculations regarding the couple's actual wealth. She stood poised in quiet assurance among a well-selected array of spring-themed product, the surrounding air charged with the vitality of the season to come. That moment of secrecy she had worked so hard to maintain started to dissipate when a local news reporter visited to feature products in celebration of a coming mother's holiday. Avoiding revelation, she smiled that she was adjusting. She was actually getting ready to bring new life into the world. Her demeanor emitted peace and beauty. In gentle sky blue hues with fine patterns and minimal adornment, she appeared perfectly comfortable with what lay ahead. Her smile portrayed a profound, consistent happiness, the sort that does not require drama or publicity to be genuine. Her bangs softened around her face, and she radiated the knowledge that new beginnings only require love, no fanfare. The tone wasn't a tone of invasion or deconstruction, but one of collective joy for a person who had obviously decided to go about motherhood in her own humble manner. Some of the fans questioned why the news wasn't released sooner, but others showed compassion. Not every happy occasion is for the headlines after all. Some moments should be allowed to happen in peace, free from the din, and this appeared to be one of them. Fundamentally, this is still that lovely tale of two individuals prepared to bring a new life into their world. Yes, the cameras might have caught a glimpse, and yes, the cyber world attempted to put the pieces together, but the love between them had always been based on common values and mutual respect. What had started in college hallways had grown into a lifelong connection, and their decision to wait until the moment was right only added to fans' respect for them. This stage of their existence holds even greater significance when seen in light of their religious heritage. Within their family's spiritual practice, numerous believe that souls can stay on, holding out for the appropriate time and location to come back. Amongst certain siblings, there have been unspoken discussions regarding spirit children, souls felt to return through different lives and fresh starts. There are rumors that this child could be something greater than a fresh start, perhaps a return, a soul returning home in a different package. There were quiet griefs generations past in the family, including losing one child before it was born. For others, bringing this new life into the world is like a spiritual homecoming. One of her younger sisters, who is known to be open and willing to discuss family issues openly, broached this concept in a recent video. She whispered about the likelihood that the brother whom they never met would come back, maybe through the unborn offspring of their eldest sister. It was a soft, near spiritual moment, one that intertwined their hopes, beliefs, and loss into something deeply personal and divine. And now, the fans sit here re-examining that moment, looking at it in light of the new events. Could this possibly be the child referred to in their religious lore? Or is this merely a new soul deciding its own path into the world? The reassuring fact is that both can be true. Following the sisters' rare visit, discussions persisted online. Many were complimenting the couple for waiting until the moment was right to share their happiness. Others were in awe of the expectant mother's serenity, grace, and unassuming way of stepping into this new journey. There has not been a deluge of updates or official announcements, and maybe that's just the way she wants it. The most revolutionary moments tend to be revealed in quietness, sans spectacle. Still, no mistaking the mood. This is a celebratory time. The existence previously followed by fans in casual snapshots and occasional asides is now morphing into something else. A narrative no longer built on perspectives or participation, but on love, development, and new starts. Her family also appears to be enveloping her in silent support. The tone of recent family updates is one of gentle cohesion, a shared joy that is louder than any caption. No official words have been spoken, but the warmth in their smiles and the greater focus on photos that include her say a lot. For those paying attention, it's obvious that something lovely is happening, not because it's advertised, but because it's felt deeply. And by opting not to herald it with fanfare, she might have spoken volumes that words never could. She is a woman who prefers intimacy to visibility, someone who prioritizes connection over accolades. As a partner, she never attempted to make love an act. Now, as a mother, she's already crafting a world in which her child will grow up with intention, stability, and poise. This is not a new chapter. It's a subtle revolution of values in a world that too often mistakes size for truth. Only glimpses of this installment are visible to fans, but each is quietly valued. As her due date draws closer, her entourage stays constant. They don't hang on by making announcements or adhering to schedules. Whether she decides to share more or protect her moments, her gentle approach to motherhood has brought something unusual, a version of family life that doesn't exist for validation, but for purpose. It's a lesson in what really counts. Some tales are not for being completely told. They are for being lived, cradled gently, and shared in whispers. This isn't just about being pregnant. It's about the subtle strength of deciding when and how to roll down the window to the world. It's about believing her own beat. And most importantly, it's about love, the kind that can exist without having to be shot or admired in order to be authentic, the kind that's whole, the bold, authoritative man revealed through the prism of an acclaimed reality show, now is the center of speculation. A resolute patriarch once, he has seen his reputation steadily move toward contradiction by weight. At times, he spoke of difficulty and sparseness. Other times, he appeared to exist in a life of extravagance, his own life dressed up with luxuries that seemed inconsistent with his public complaints. This paradox created discomfort. Viewers of the popular family saga wondered if the portrait of financial hardship was real or whether it was a tactical facade. Since the series' start, the monetary complexities of maintaining multiple homes, raising numerous children, and coping with an unconventional marital setup were always in the public's mind. How was such an existence maintained? The man behind it was not always easy to track down. His decisions were unpredictable. One of the most debated was when he bought himself a fancy white convertible, an obvious status symbol. It shone with power, but also caused uneasy questions to be asked. How could one who claimed tight funds manage to afford something so flashy? This one decision became a central issue, not merely due to the cost factor, but due to what it could have represented. Was it a reward for weathering the spotlight, a diversion, or merely an indicator of priorities that did not agree with his own story? Regardless, it muddled the public's perception of who he actually was, and potentially still is. Would you like to move on to more of Kody's contradictions in terms of money, or go back to the quiet development of the daughter's narrative? Whether these forays were intended as stress release, moments of flight, or simply indicators of greater problems, economic or emotional. What grew clearer, however, was an expanding disconnect between what he said and what he did. He described burden, sacrifice, being too thin in too many places. But those who were nearest to the family and even those observers from the periphery couldn't help noticing the paradox. A man claiming adversity, living in opulence, a father complaining of burden, splurging on pleasures. This widening disparity left many wondering if the original vision, the dream of unity, of shared values, of one big, harmonious household, had fractured beyond repair. The land he once promised would unite everyone, now parceled up and sold, became a metaphor for the family itself, split, monetized, and left to personal interpretation. Was it a sign of strategic reorganization, or the quiet disintegration of the ideals they had once constructed their lives around? The woman who was now the exclusive object of his love seemed to be pleased with her new status. Where once she had arrived with debt and vulnerability, she had advanced in position, not necessarily through effort, but through proximity. She and her presence alone seemed to have altered the power dynamics of the household. Where others constructed side ventures, hustled to make ends meet, or simply separated themselves, she was insulated, supported, guarded. Others wondered whether her continued loyalty had more to do with comfort than commitment. And yet, it was that very comfort, the personalized gifts, the expensive trinkets, the overnight trips, that caused many erstwhile admirers of the family's path to wonder what had become of the values formerly espoused: sacrifice, cohesion, humility, and spiritual integrity. What had started as a daring social experiment had, to some, begun to seem like a warning. Would you like to delve into the responses of the other members of the family next? Or further untangle the financial irregularities and gossip surrounding the decisions of the patriarch, handy shield that deflected blame and enabled him to sidestep the unpleasant reality that his decisions were not always based on fairness or need, but on ego and preference? The pattern was irrefutable: magnanimity for a select few,